political wing outside it, the head of Directorate of States, Mazi Chika Idoziem, in response, said that IPOB has no political wing and has maintained that IPOB has no faction nor will it participate in the internal political system in which he described as being disrupted time and to support and subjugate the Biafra community forever. He asserted that instead, the IPOB movement will, in fullness of time, unveil the preposition of the original Biafra political system, which will be totally holistic and parallel to the political system of existing notorious, which will be parallel to the political system of existing nations of the world, assuring that IPOB directors of states will ensure that sovereign Biafra nation will never be a reflection of the discredited Nigerian political system. In another development, the numerous checkpoints on the southeast roads have caused delays, harassment, and have caused severely impact on the southeastern region. Good afternoon and welcome to Biafra Television Europe. I am Nwada Jovista Chichi, and right here with me in the studio is our distinguished guest of honor, a writer, an international human rights advocate, Daniel Okonkwo. Daniel, you are welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having me, Nwada. It's my pleasure.
It's a delight having you in the studio this afternoon.
Thank you.
All right, before we continue, I want to ask, are you a member of Amnesty International?
I'm a member, also a right for writer. I'm a participating member of Amnesty International. I've written articles. In fact, the last one I wrote was about Net Nahara. She's a civil rights advocate in Angola, a TikToker, a mother, a human advocate for women. She advocates for women of Angola. She fights for human democracy there. And she lives with HIV. Now, in one of her broadcasts, she condemned the Angolan president, criticized what his policies are for and what he did. What they did was they arrested her, jailed her for 6 months. On top of the 6 months, they increased it to 2 years. And she's there for more than 1 year. Now you come to think about it. Where is human rights in that society? As a human rights defender, it's appalling, it's annoying to see when people oppress others. So, I've done a lot of things for the Amnesty International, and I will continue. And also done a lot for Nigerians too.
That is very good one. And now we have to start. Let us start with the southeastern region. So as we know today that there are a lot of roadblocks or checkpoints on the roads of southeast. What are the impacts of the roadblocks in the southeast today?
Well, Ada Biafra, it has a lot of negative impacts from the commuters to the economy is negativity is above, is uncountable. Now, there have been reports of commuters being harassed. There have been reports of extortion. And not just the problem we have with the road blocks and checkpoint. It's not just the commuters. Show off your direct effect on the economy. There are videos circulating in the internet where truck drivers are saying that they pay close to 700,000 to checkpoints, the various checkpoints from Adamawa to Calabar. So you can imagine when they're trying to convey goods from the north to the east, and probably the owner of the goods has paid 1.5 million, and they are spending additional 700,000 to convey the goods. You can understand what it should do to the economy of the east. When we talk about the impact of extortion on the road, it is not just the southeast. Because are you telling me if you are going to the east, you won't go through other states? If you are going to the east, sometimes you pass through Okene. You pass through different states that are south states. And all this impacts negatively on the economy. Now, I'm getting a report that from Port Harcourt to Aba, you have close to 50 checkpoints. Come on. And sometimes they force the commuters to come down and trek a certain distance. Why is it human right then? Why would that be happening in a society like ours that we take the strength of Africa, that other nations to emulate from Nigerians? It's not working. The checkpoints are excessive. It's too much. I'm beginning to see it as a way to sabotage certain interests. Because for me, why would you have such numerous checkpoints? It's not just, I want to make something clear. Sometimes when you are conveying goods from east to Lagos, you see checkpoints. People are frustrated. If you doubt me, watch a video, go through the comments. It's there in the internet. Go through the comments and you see people complaining. This celebration time, if a can of malt is being sold, probably, I'm here in Abuja, it's being sold for 500. In the East, you're buying it for 800 or 1,000. And you don't have to pay them. That is how they got it. So, the inflation is high. It's affecting everything. When you come to tourism, would you want to go to a state that have that kind of checkpoints? What about the hospitality business? Would you want to go and lodge in a hotel there? It's not encouraging. It's pushing away investment, interests. And people are complaining. Commuters are complaining. It's adding so much on the cost of transportation. In the end, who will pay? Ordinary Nigeria. So that's my take.
All right, thank you so much. If you are just joining us on BTV, we are right here with us live. I still remain Nwada Jovista Chichi, and with us here is Daniel Okonkwo, a human rights activist and also a journalist, is here with us. As we continue, sir, let's talk about insecurity in the Southeast. We know that insecurity is the order of the day, even in Nigeria in general. But in the Southeast, this insecurity has affected the economy. and our people? What are the impacts that insecurity has on our people, and who are the causes of this, or who are those behind the insecurity in the southeast region?
Well, there are numerous factors that contributed to insecurity in the southeast. Now, yesterday, a friend of mine was telling me about her friend that has a celebration on the 8th. And because of fear for kidnap, she didn't travel. But you know what happened? They kidnapped her brother in the east there and made sure she paid 25 million. Do you know the honest part? These are the same people. Some of the school of thoughts claim they are protected. Who are the people committing those crimes? Who is behind them? They have ravaged the economy of the southeast. A lot of Nigerians who talked about the southeast as a heaven have come to mock because of what is happening there. And it affects economy badly. Because when you look at the geopolitical zoning, look at the zones that doesn't have insecurity problem, the zones that are not affected by insecurity, how they are doing well. They look at the zone that has something in common with southeast and not south. Just compare what they have in common. Insecurity. Nothing is happening. Everything is stagnant. Do you know that people from Onitsha, from Aba, from all parts of the southeast choose to celebrate their Christmas in Lagos out of the southeast? Why? Because of insecurity. A lot of businesses are being moved out of the southeast to Lagos. Now let me shock you a little bit. Do you know the southeast economy? When I say southeast, I mean Enugu, Anambra, Imo, Abia, Ebonyi, put together, their whole internally generated revenue put together is not up to the one Ogun State generates. One state. Put them together, Ogun State is still higher. What are we doing to ourselves? People like notable names, which I wouldn't want to mention, take their businesses out of the southeast to go and establish somewhere else. It's a simple arithmetic. If I go to the bank and borrow money to do business, I wouldn't want to do it where I won't make profit or I'll be disrupted by insecurity. So it's affecting us. And some of us know who these people are. We know who they are. They are not kidnapping people from the moon. They are not kidnapping aliens. They are kidnapping your brothers, your sisters, and your people. I tell you, come to the east this festival time. The siren there, the securities you see, everybody who is doing fine will come with security. Let's call it protection. When we are growing up, or even 10 years back, 20 years back, you go to the east, you don't need airports. You enjoy the festivities. The culture is vibrant, rich. But look at what the people has reduced it to. And the other of us are not being crossing. What did you mean? It's not everywhere. The southeast is peculiar. If you're saying it's criminality where they are stealing, it's understandable. They are kidnapping. It's a sort of business and investment. Now let me tell you true. There are stories people don't hear. A friend of mine, last few days, is into oil, and he was paid for the oil he sold at the tune of 150 to 120 million. I mean, a few years ago, that's about close to about $500,000. Immediately that money came in, they called him that if you don't pay us your numbers, we're going to kidnap you. And he felt probably it's a prank. What happened? They kidnapped him. But before they kidnapped him, he has already purchased other products, so there's no money in his account. And the same kidnappers went outside, made phone calls, came back and told him, yes, we know you don't have money in your account, but we'll hold you until the money comes in. And they held him. Money came in, he paid, but they released him. Body close. Relatives, friends, brothers, there are behind it. It's not fun. And the state will not fold their hands and allow insecurity to ravage their state. They will not do that. They will do everything humanly possible, politically, to make sure that they protect where they govern. They're not. So it's not a question of you are killing the people in checkpoint. You kill one, you bring 5. You kill 10, you bring 50. Like our human rights defender, barrister Ejiofor said, we cannot achieve this Biafra killing 5. We cannot. It's not possible. We cannot achieve it. There's a lot that I have to say, but I understand that we're having glitchy, so let me just stop here.
All right, thank you. But for the insecurity, I still ask, who are those behind this insecurity? Because looking at Nigerian media today, they will always project it that IPOB is behind the insecurity. They will catch a common criminal, they will tag the criminal and IPOB. Even in Enugu State yesterday, we saw the army who were discharged because they were involved in criminal and kidnapping cartel. So in IP, we are not afraid of saying those who are behind the insecurity because they want to profile in the IPOB, they want to label IPOB. Even when the security agencies are causing this insecurity, they want to label it on IPOB. I ask again, who are those behind the insecurity in the southeast? And secondly, has kidnapping and criminality not there before the emergence of IPOB?
Okay. Like I said, a lot of criminals has infiltrated the southeast. Like you rightly said, before the emerge of IPOB, they were robbing, killing, and kidnapping. But I think some of these criminals, some of these kidnappers saw an opportunity, saw a chance in vacuum, and use it to cover themselves, to label themselves IPOB, and start killing, kidnapping, destroying things in the name of IPOB. That's my take. I wouldn't know who is behind it, but I know that this is not the character of Indigo. We're not like this. So somehow, some element infiltrated the organization, the Southeast, and probably to some people in the Southeast joined to come together to cause havoc in the name of IPOB. That's my take.
All right, thank you for your analysis. And we proceed. Looking at the incarceration of Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, we understood that Ibrahim Ezalzaki and Sunday Igboho were also uh, self-freedom agitators. And for a very long time now, these two people are free men moving about their businesses or their jobs. But Mazin Nnamdi Kanu is still incarcerated in DSS dungeon. Why is Mazin Nnamdi Kanu still in detention? Why is he not as free as Sunday Igboho and Ibrahim El-Zakzaky?
The system. I want to tell you how the system works from my little understanding and experience. I'll tell you stories, so you have to give me some time. Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of IPOB, was abducted, renditioned to Nigeria, 2021. 2022, he was discharged and acquitted. And the judge said that the process was illegal. He discharged him. Why is he still in detention? Why won't certain people be biased or marginalized or feel that, look, it seems that we are not part of this country? Well, you see, I will tell you stories why you will know that the system is like a mechanism. Some people choose to manipulate where they want. Now, let me tell you a story before we go back to his incarceration. A certain billionaire in Nigeria who is into electricity, his brother is an executive governor, serving governor now. His son is a mega superstar, a musical mega superstar. And this certain billionaire went to a factory in Nigeria. All he needed was to get a permit. For God's sake, a permit to better the lives of Nigerians, to improve the situation of Nigeria. But he went to a particular office, a ministry, the government official that is there to execute his job, to give him permit, told him point blank, look into his eyes and said, your project will not see the light of day. This man is a billionaire. He has political connection. His son is mega when it comes to music. He has billionaires, strong, staunch elites as friends in Nigerian system, but yet he was denied the permit. He was reduced, let me put it that way, to going down on his nail and begging God for the permit. Something a man can offer to a man. The particular official that denied him the permit became sick or ill and was flown to Europe for treatment. The minister asked the other aides to bring the files and applications that were in the junior official's office, who was flown to Europe. The minister saw the files on all the applications. And really he saw the energy. He said, wow, this is fantastic. This will improve a lot in Nigeria. This is wonderful. Wow. He immediately minuted and told them that he wants to see the progress of that project quarterly. And they called the man to come and collect his permit. Now, you see the analysis I gave you. The other one said no, the system is not working. The other one said yes, the system is working. Now, let's go further. Look at the 15 Biafrans They were jailed for nothing. They were going to wedding last year, intercepted and jailed. What was their crime? They were labeled IPOP. Their charges were prison, terrorism, and our human rights defender, Barrister Ejiofor and his team, did all they could. The same system released them. It was the same system that killed them. So, there are people who want to make sure that the system does not work. I mean, Abuja, I know government officials who do their job without fear of favor. They don't collect bribes. They don't look at your face. There are people who don't do their jobs. So now the Kanu's incarceration is political. A lot of interest. A lot of people doesn't want you to live there. A lot of people are afraid of possibly what he knows. And you know that they said that he was arrested by Interpol 2021. Interpol 2024 said, we never arrested him. And now they come from his own mouth, say there is no arrest warrant. So, I'll be arrested. What happened? And there, they labeled him a terrorist before they arrested him. And they tortured him and kept him for 8 days. What happened? So a lot of interest. We want to make sure that he never lives there. I want to use this opportunity to even, because I know a lot of officials are saying this. It will go a long way if this administration will do Ndi with the favor and release Mazen and the candle. That man is innocent. That man should join his family. He has gone through a lot. He has family. The two you mentioned.
All right, we experience a glitch, but we are hoping to bring him back to the studio because we are just starting this program and we are about hitting it up, and the glitch occurred, but we are believing that he'll be back, and hopefully he is back. All right, can you continue from where you stopped, Daniel?
Yes, can you hear me?
Very well.
Sorry about the interrupt. I think it's from the network.
It's all right.
Like I said, the other two agitators are in their homes, with their family, with their relatives. So I'm making this administration to look at, to have mercy. Let me put it that way. By cut all protocols. The president can do that. He has the power. Because the court has discharged and acquitted him. So why is he still there? So when people begin to say things like they're being marginalized, they're not taken seriously, they don't get a quota and all that, it's not far from it. Because why won't you release him? So we are begging this administration to do the needful and release him so that he can join his family. That's my take.
All right, thank you, but I still want you to do I say rephrase it? Because according to Nigerian governments, the media and security agencies, they will always say that Mazin Nandekan was arrested. What happened to Mazin Nandekan? Was that an arrest? He was kidnapped.
No.
Yes, he was kidnapped.
No, it was like I rightly said. First of all, from my initial explanation, I said that there is nothing like arrest warrant. He was adopted. And it is crystal clear that even the court said that the process is faulty, is illegal. So if he was brought to Nigeria in due process, the court will not say it's illegal. So we both know that it's illegal how he was brought back to Nigeria. And the same court said, look, release this.
Could that also be okay? Let me. Okay, do you think that Tinubu's administration will favor Mazin Nnamdi Kanu? Do you think so?
I strongly believe. You see, now when you look at, I might not agree with the policies of this, with all the policies. I agree with some, I don't agree with some. But I believe that the president, it's not that rigid when it comes to, if you look at the young youths that were arrested in Kano, they were flying a country's flag. He did the needful, he intervened, and they were released. So, and if we come together, we come together with one voice and speak with one voice, you go to him or, just come together, they will release Nnamdi Kanu. But there are, like I told you, there are political interests. There are people who doesn't want him to be released. You understand? There are things I can't say here. That is, you say they will arrest you. Honestly speaking, I've been arrested, taken to court, got a bail, but they didn't release me. They still took me and detained me in the prison. So, the system, there are a lot of people who are interested that the system will work. I'm an Igbo person. I'm a Biafran to the core. I'm a Nigerian. You understand? And nobody is more Nigerian than me. Nobody. I'm a Nigerian to the core. Nobody is more Nigerian than me. But sometimes when you look at the system and how it works, you step back. No matter who you are, there are people who will frustrate you, and there's nothing will happen. The previous administration publicly said there are people in the system who are gods. So you can imagine. So, Ada Biafra, there are people who want to make sure that the system does not work. But it's going to work. Even in IPOB, even in the East, there are people who want to make sure that it doesn't work. Don't to bring in violence, don't to bring in criminality into it. You understand? To make sure it has a bad name. But what is happening? But there are people who want to hold to the principles. What do you say to that? We have black, we have white. There are people who want to make sure that even your own system at that level does not work. So that's it about Nigerian system. No, if you are a governor, you are a minister, as an aide, you are a senator or a parliament, member of the parliament, what can you do? Most of them look at their security formation. In Nigeria, a governor, a minister, look at their security formation. Look how many cars they have. That will tell you a lot about the country. Then go to Europe. Look at their security formation. How many? Because somehow they know that it's not secured. So what do you expect? So I strongly believe that this administration will release Nnamdi Kanu. If we come together as a people with one voice and say you want him to be released, he will be released.
All right, thank you so much. But as a follow-up of your conversation, you say that nobody is more Nigerian than you. And I want to put it to you that it is not just you, but in Nigeria as a whole, nobody is more Nigerian than the Igbos. And I will tell you why before we proceed. Nobody was more Nigerian than the Igbos. Why? Looking at independence, Zik would have allowed the Northerners to seek a secession when they were agitating for secession. But because of love of Nigeria, Zik said no. And he remained only a ceremonial governor since after independence. And since after that independence, no Igbo man has become the president of Nigeria. Now, when you look at where we do our businesses, when you look at corporations, the Igbos are the most people to be dynamic, that the people that can establish their businesses anywhere they go to in Nigeria. They are the people that can develop every part of Nigeria, showing that these people are more Nigerians. But unfortunately, we are the most oppressed, we are the most marginalized, we are the most intimidated, and that is why we said no. Enough is enough. Allow us to go. But as we proceed, sir, may I ask you, are you an IPOB member?
I'm not. Do I continue?
Okay, so is there any difference between being an Igbo and being a Biafran?
You're kind of breaking. Your voice is echoing.
Okay, is there any difference being an Igbo and being a Biafran? Can you hear me?
There's no difference. There's no difference in the sense of the word Biafra. When you say Biafra, are you asking me this question, or should I answer the one you asked before, or this one?
All together.
Okay, let me start with this. Biafra is coined from the word Biafra. When you check it in Google or dictionary, and it was used by the Portuguese, the colonial masters who were shuttling between Europe and West Africa and some parts of southeast. So when you say Biafra, you mean Calabar, Igbo, the south and the southeast. So I'm an Igbo first, before Biafra, then Nigeria. Does that answer your question?
Rabba, I remember. But I want to say this not for us to delve into that. If we want to do that, we'll come back another day. I remember the speech of Goodluck Jonathan in 2014 confab. He said, nobody is a Nigerian. And I believe so. And I'm not a Nigerian. But that is for another day. But remember, I said that nobody is more Nigerian than the Igbos. But
nobody.
All right.
Now,
So
most of the things you asked me had echo in the background. It wasn't very clear. Like when you started from the Zik, colonial master, when you started from the Zik being the ceremonial president and all that, it wasn't clear. I didn't hear the phrases. So I wanted to be sure of what? Can you repeat the question again?
Okay. I try to say that I try to follow up your conversation when you said that nobody is more Nigeria than you. So I now put it to you that you are not just the only person, but in Nigeria as a whole, that nobody is more Nigeria than the Igbos. And I now cited what happened in 1957 when the North went to succeed from Nigeria, when they went to succeed. It was Zik that said, no, let us have one Nigeria. Are you getting me? Are you getting me? So I'm trying to put it to you how the proof that Igbos in general are more Nigerian than those claiming to be Nigerians today. For those accusing IPOB of secession, are you getting what I'm trying to say? For those accusing IPOB for secession and accusing Mazen Nanikano for secession, that these people, they are not more Nigerians and they don't even want better, more good Nigerian than us, because the Igbos has done so many things showing that they want the betterment of Nigeria. But since they do not want us, I say, despite all this, that we are being most intimidated ethnic group, we are being most marginalized. That even till today, since 1960 till date, that an Igbo man has never been a president of Nigeria. And in no time, an Igbo man is becoming a president of Nigeria. And that is why IPOB said, enough is enough. We want to be on our own. And I now say that that will be a discussion for another day. Are you not getting me?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I add some input?
All right, you are free, sir. Today is your day.
Okay. When when you say an Igbo man cannot be the president, when I look at P2P, the whole youth in Nigeria.
So please, can we leave it for, I don't want us to digress. Let me put another question to you, please. We will come back to that for another day. There's this it is now viral. They keep profiling the Igbos and they want to continue profiling us, but it cannot continue. It went viral that Igbos don't sell their land to other ethnic groups. How true is that allegation?
You see, when I heard about it from a notable journalist, reputable journalist, you see, journalism is accountability, impartiality, and professionalism. You have to be honest because you are an educator. Who said that? Said that somebody told him. As a journalist, he did not investigate. As a journalist, he did not find out if it's credible. I know a lot of Northerners, Southwesterners who are doing business in Onitsha, in Aba. They have houses, they bought houses, they bought lands. That phrase was to discredit the Igbos, which he did not achieve in the first place. And when you look at people's temperament, you will see that his temperament, even on TV, towards a fellow colleague, was unjustifiable. When he threatened, June, I will come after you, is uncalled for. The colleague is a woman. Are you coming after her based on what? Because she said the truth. Don't paint a whole tribe, a nation with one brush. So sometimes look beyond their words. It is who they are. They never liked us. This is the hatred they have. And do you know what motivates their anger? It's the prosperity. Where other people go, they don't succeed. An Igbo man will go and succeed. There is no Nigerian that is so patriotic like an Igbo man. There is no Nigerian, no. A Nigerian can go to the far north end of the world and go establish business, contribute to the community and to their development, and become part of that community. Even though some of the community fight against them in return for their goods, but it doesn't stop Igbo from going to various places to establish. We are known for business. We are the heartbeat of the nation. Yes. And that is why you can never go. They won't allow you to go. They are not going anywhere. Remove Igbo from business. What do you get? Look at this. Look at some states in Nigeria. This Christmas, without the Igbo people there, it will be like a ghost town. Who are the ones contributing to the development of those political zones who are doing well? Who are the ones contributing? Igbo. But sometimes I don't like the method of how they do business. I don't like the method of how they purchase land. Because for me, if you want to buy a land, there are lawyers who are responsible to make sure to get the title of the land. You don't just go and dive into land and buy land without knowing the title of the land. Before you know, they'll seize the land. And you say they are operating in Igbo. Which they are operating in Igbo. There's no doubt. To an extent. So, if we begin to coordinate our business professionally, seek advices from professionals, you don't just go and come to Abuja and start buying lands. A lot of Igbo, as I'm talking to you now, what they call village land in Abuja. This land comes without title. Anytime government decide to reclaim the place, they'll reclaim it and destroy all your property. In fact, sometimes you might be at your shop or office. They'll use bulldozers and come and scatter everything. Because it doesn't have title. So sometimes we have to look into some of these things so that we don't lose much. But as far as I'm concerned, there is no one, nobody is more patriotic like India. Only an Igbo man will go to a village where he doesn't know anybody, build a house, bring his family, start this incubation system, an apprenticeship, and groom people, and becomes a pillar of the community. Tell me who does that? Who? Igbo. So you are wanted in Nigeria. I understand it's a legitimate claim to say that we are not treated fairly. I'm not, you understand, it's a very legitimate claim. But the system is faulted. The people that are representing you are the ones selling you, destroying you, making sure